our first guest this evening is actually someone that, see, there are cookie friends, there are strangers, which I love. There are cookie friends, which are, people I've met from time to time, and then there are people that have sort of crossed the cookie barrier, and it happens. And I'd like to figure maybe this will give you some hope for all of you that are not my friend at this point. Our first guest is a wonderful guy. He's also the official pedorthist of Free Cookies NYC, and a very funny man. Please welcome Ken Jepsen.
Don't act like you actually know what a pedorthist is, because I know nobody does. My parents don't know, so. I work with feet, it's not interesting. So who here has actually met him outside of the show? Raise the hands. Who here has never met him but got like a Facebook invite or a friend like invited you? Raise the hands. It's like 50-50, that's pretty good, dude. It's pretty good. When I first met him on the street, he was like, hey, free cookies? And I was like, are there drugs in them? And he was like, no. And I was depressed. But then he's like, they're vegetarian. And I was like, that's not enticing. But I thought all cookies were vegetarian, isn't that right? Right? I don't know. Apparently I was wrong. Vegan, okay, vegan. But yeah, I mean, they were surprisingly good, right? Who had them tonight, right? For having no meat in them, I think they're pretty good. They're delicious. I can't alter this thing's height. I'm retarded. So you guys excited for the new MTA hikes in November? Yeah. It's the most depressing thing I heard all day. And I just got done watching a PowerPoint on the Holocaust, so it's pretty impressive. I think what they should do is they should make all the VPs and the high-ups in that company actually like pay them 30 grand a year and then make them ride the subway, and then maybe they'd fix all the problems that are actually wrong with it, Put some bathrooms in there. How come everybody complains that it smells like urine? There's no fucking bathrooms, what the fuck do you expect? So people are gonna pee in it, right? Who here's peed on the subway? Yeah? That's good. You're not supposed to raise your hand to that, but it's 2010 though. It's not like it's 2050 and like we should be paying 130 bucks. It's insane. It's supposed to be 130 bucks in November for an unlimited ride. It's fucked up, right? I sell shoes. Yeah, 2010, right? Who thought 2010 would be like this? Remember, like we should have like robots and like flying cars and robots, right? Like, remember Time Cop? You ever see the movie Time Cop? Yeah. On the back of Time Cop it says, in the future of 2003, not only is time travel possible, but... Same thing with Back to the Future. We're supposed to have like hoverboards and pizza that you can just like deflate and crazy shit like that. What?
You got 5 years for that.
Yeah, 5 years. I know, it was a big fucking, you're a nerd. Yeah, like, I love movies. Time Cop was terrible, but it's so terrible it's good. But like, everybody's remaking movies now, and nobody comes up with any original ideas, you know what I mean? Like, they just did Karate Kid, and like, there's no original anything anymore. That's why I stick to TV, because there are a lot of original programming out there nowadays. Like, you guys like Shark Week? Yeah, Shark Week is the shit. It's the best at like 4 a.m. when you're like drunk, I like to watch Shark Week and like eat some Cheetos, which I normally don't like doing because if somebody walks in, it looks like I just fingered an Oompa Loompa, Which I didn't, so it's embarrassing. But no, but sharks are just awesome and like terrifying. They got those deep black soulless eyes, kind of like Asian babies, Not the adults, the children. The adults are people, so it's offensive. But no, have you guys noticed the Asian baby trend though? Like white women with Asian babies, that's not your kid, They use them like fashion accessories. I think it's gonna get so bad that you'll like go to the mall and you can like pick them off a rack, They have like knockoffs that you can buy out of the back of a van, like little Polynesian boys or something. No. I'm a terrible person, just so everybody knows, let's get that out there. terrible person. But maybe it's because they're good at math, you know? Maybe that's like why, you know, they're cute, you know, squinty eyes, good at math. Like, everybody has a good stereotype except for white people. You guys notice that? Like, the Asians are good at math, you know, the Jews are good with money, blacks, they got, you know, their big dicks, you know, Latinos have their magic, and like, white people, we don't have anything, you know, so I think we should start something, like we talk to squirrels, you know, we talk to squirrels, which is like kind of true, because if you've ever been to the park, do you ever see anybody talking to squirrels about white people? They're like, hey little squirrel, hey little squirrel. I'm not saying they talk back, but like, spread that around, new rumor. White people need something. But how did I get to this point? Oh yeah, 4 a.m. commercials. That's kind of a stretch, right? 4 a.m. commercials, that's when like shit comes on and they know that you're interested because it's 4 a.m. Like, if I see a KFC commercial, I'm like, oh, it's a fucking chicken. Or like I bought the Magic Bullet. You guys know what the fucking Magic Bullet is? I bought that. I bought that. It doesn't work. It broke after like 4 days. And like I was thinking, you guys know what the Snuggie is too? You're like, that's the dumbest thing ever. But it looks comfortable and possibly practical. Fucking commercials. And those things they're always the same commercial too. They have like the worst invention ever that you'll never need. Like a flashlight holder. It's like, do you have too many flashlights? And then it goes to black and white, and some lady opens up her cupboard and all these flashlights are pouring on. She's like, oh, what am I gonna do? Use the flashlight organizer 2000. It's retarded. I kind of want to make one of those, but make fun of it while doing it. Like have a MaxiPad commercial, right? But you know when they have the MaxiPad and you have the blue liquid that comes out? Instead of doing that, have like a half, like almost gone thing of ketchup and just like squirt it in there. So it's like, and then like have Macho Man Randy Savage be the announcer and have him be like, stick this in your hole. And then he'll like bite it. No, it's pretty terrible, isn't it? Next. But yeah, the worst thing about like 4 a.m. and stuff like that is you're next to your computer, like everybody does. Everybody has an iPod or whatever, iPhone or shit. And so you get on eBay and you buy the shit, and then the next day you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Like my Alien Predator costumes, like that was $1,400 well spent. You know? Actually, I don't regret that because it's pretty fucking awesome. But I don't know. Then you like you're on Facebook, and then like you start doing really stupid shit when you're drunk at 4 a.m. at home online, like, oh, free Harmony, this will just be a laugh. And then all of a sudden, you know, you're e-dating, you know, you're e-couple, then you have an e-baby, you know, they have to get an e-abortion. I shouldn't have poked her on Facebook. Control, Alt, delete it. The baby's not real, so don't feel bad about that. It was made up. But, yeah, kids. Yeah, speaking of real kids, not fake internet kids. I don't really want to have kids, because kids are messed up. Does anybody agree with that? Like, kids today are fucked up. Yeah, like, check this out. The newest way kids are getting high, and this is fucking true, is they shit and piss in balloons, which first off, I don't know how that's possible. And then they like stick it in the sun for like 2 weeks, and then they inhale the methane gas out of it to get high. That's not a joke, that's just true. Kids are fucked up, man. What happened to like just fucking smoking some weed or something, right? Like, do you really have to poop? Anyway, I don't know, but I just think the US kind of breeds stupidity, though. I mean, do you agree? Like, compared to all the other countries out there, we've got some fucking retards here, you know? I mean, like, if you go overseas, they've got like polo and badminton, you know? And we've got like WWF and competitive eating, you know what I mean? It's entertaining, yes, but I mean, I don't know, it's just depressing. I think we should have like a breeding test though, like because stupid people breed stupid kids, you know? Like they should have just like 20 questions, like random questions. Well, it wouldn't really be random, but it's like, do you like NASCAR? Yes. Do you have any apparel that says Coors on it? Does your home have wheels on it? Have you or any of your family been on Jerry Springer? Cut off the balls. I just think that would fix a lot of problems. Plus, like, when I was a kid, like, it was way harder than it is now. They just think, like, the simple shit. Like, when you guys were on a playground, what was it? It was cement and metal, right? Am I right? But you get a big, like, metal slide, you burn your ass on it, you fall off the jungle gym, you get, like, broken arm and shit. Now everything's padded and stuff like that, like kiddie-proof. It's just terrible. Like, it's natural selection proof, you know what I mean? So all those kids who should have gotten hurt and learned their lesson or, you know, whatever, they just bounce off and go and fucking fuck up my life. But yeah, like, games and shit are different. Like, kids now, they've all got Wii's and iPhones and all that shit. We didn't have that crap growing up. I'm not even that fucking old. I'm 27, you know? He's 30. Jesus Christ. You guys remember Crossfire?
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in the crossfire! It was the coolest commercial ever. It was like 8-year-old kid. He's got like a leather vest and gloves on. There are explosions in the background. And then you get it. It's like a little triangle and just spins and just go in. And like, that was the worst game ever. But we loved it, right? Remember Hungry Hungry Hippos?
Yes.
Exactly. Although I always got the retarded one where the mouth wouldn't close, so it just like went back and forth and back and forth, and like, oh, son of a bitch! And like, you'd never win if you're against a bunch of teenage kids, because they're all like chronic masturbators, so they got that down, you know? It's a whole different ball of wax. When I was on kids too, like everything now I'm saying is like all safe and shit, you know? Remember when we were growing up, they had flavored markers?
Yes.
They would encourage kids to sniff markers, bro. It's like, oh, this one smells like grape. And they got this. And then, like, remember shatterproof rulers too? What was the first fucking thing you did when you read shatterproof? You fucking broke the thing in half. Actually, I think that was kind of ingenious. Some marketing guy must have got a huge raise. Like, dude, we're not just gonna sell one ruler. You write shatterproof on it. They break one, they gotta buy another one. You guys are fucking rich and you know it. Oh, hey, I got to the end of the page. Childhood. So yeah, speaking of children, my girlfriend came home the other day, actually. She was supposed to be home at 7, but she came home at like 8 o'clock instead of like 7 o'clock. She was like, hey, sorry, I'm late. So I punched her in the stomach because I can't have kids right now. I'm just kidding, I pushed her down the stairs. But, no, I'm just kidding, she's great. We're actually getting to a really good phase in our relationship now. We're like just past the honeymoon phase, you know? So it's like, we know it's not just like puppy love or whatever. And the other day she was like, man, I love the piss out of you. And I was like, gross. Urine. Loves mine. No? Okay. I won't do that one next time. No, that reminds me of porn. People do fucked up shit in porn, right? Scott knows.
Hey.
What's the most fucked up thing you saw in a porn, Scott?
You know, lately my wife has been watching The Bachelorette.
The Bachelorette is in porn.
Ah, I think it is.
Okay.
I'm convinced.
You're derailing his joke, though.
No, I'm asking. I'm fucking ask questions. I'll just sit up here and ask questions and not do jokes anymore. What do you want?
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
man. Thanks, man.
Fuck you, Scott. I'm just kidding, I love you. We'll make out later. But no, porn is cool though, but like The Bachelorette, I'm sure somebody's made a spin-off, a porn spin-off of The Bachelorette. You know what I mean? That's the best thing. If you ever just get a chance to go through the porn aisles, don't be weird about it or think somebody's gonna see you there. They have the funniest fucking titles in there. Like Indiana Bones and the Temple of Poon. You can't write that shit. Well, you can write that shit, I guess, but and it's surprisingly very much like the original, except for there is a giant ball in it, but it's a whole different thing. And there is a temple, but he has to bone his way out, so it's scarred in my mind. Also, like 3 Men and a Baby Arm, that was a good one. That was classy more than anything. Also, you guys see Coming to America, when coming was spelled a little bit different. That was a really good flick. Golden Girls Gone Wild, that was fun. That actually had some of the original cast, which was disturbing. Also, Womb Raider, that was like a Tomb Raider thing, but with the pregnant lady. It was gross. But like if I ever did that, I kind of want to make my own though. I have an idea, just follow me on this. I take a horse, right? And I strap a dildo to its forehead, okay? and then I name it the unicorn hole. Right? And then I get like Carrot Top to start in because he'll do anything for like $20, and he'll like rate people with carrots maybe, I don't know. But I want it to be like a 3-part trilogy, so it's like the unicorn hole, then Revenge of the Unicorn Hole, and then the last unicorn hole. So pretty classy. But that's actually all the jokes I wrote down. So I'm gonna call it quits. But thanks for listening to me, guys. I have to stay here.
I think that it would be.
I don't think that one works. We'll share.
I know. Well,
The room's not really actually big enough for us to have these. I don't know if you get it.
You guys, all right, fine. I wanted everyone to get to know Ken a little bit. Everybody performing here. Well, Ken might take this the wrong way. I will. But everyone that's performing tonight was not booked off of how famous they are, obviously. But it's just, I take it the wrong way. No, everyone here is like someone that I've just simply personally met and then either asked to do the show or I invited to do the show. So I want to share a little bit about these people with you, just a little bit. All right? You can't just watch them do their thing and not learn a little bit about them.
What if you ask me a question and then they ask me a question? What if I use the microphone?
Yeah, you can use the microphone.
What can we get them to ask me a question later?
If my questions aren't good enough,
They probably won't.
they can ask questions.
Okay.
First of all, I wanted to. I'll turn this on for a second. I was hoping you'd talk a little bit about offending people.
Yeah.
If you have experiences, I mean, obviously, telling jokes, you have to offend people from time to time.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if you have any good stories of people that you offended and how you've had to deal with offense that perhaps you have dished out.
Oh man. Yeah, I've done that a lot actually. When I first started, I thought I would be like really used to it because I DJ as well. I DJed for a ton of people. I'm like, oh, it'll be fun. I get up there my first time and I was like nervous as shit. My parents were there and they don't know my sense of humor, so like it was really bad. And the second time I got a little more comfortable. And the third time I was like really comfortable in my own skin. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go offensive and do what I think is funny. So I did an entire set about pedophilia. And like, at first they're like, haha, that's kind of funny. I'm like, I like my coffee like I like my women. 12-year-old Polynesian boys, you know? And then like people were laughing and then I kept going with it though, and then I kept going with it, and so like the longer it went, it was like funny, funny, not so funny, not so funny, you know? And by the end of it, like 10% of the people thought it was the funniest shit they'd ever heard, and everybody else wanted to like murder me. And the one that really killed it was when, I almost had to be escorted out of the building, it was pretty bad. The one that really killed it was when I said, no, I'm not a pedophile because I don't want to go to jail. So what I've been doing is I've been picking up all my chicks with the cancer ward because they're hairless everywhere. And it was terrible. I thought it was hilarious, but yeah. So yeah, I've offended some people, for sure.
Have you ever had to give like a heartfelt apology? Or?
Yes. Well, kind of. It never got that bad. The one where somebody actually came up to me after a show was like I was mentioning how Asian women have really nice skin, like their entire lives. Like they have just porcelain, beautiful skin, but like the moment they turn like 36, it like looks like a Trocanin nutsack. Like there's no in between. Like it's just like super nice, and then when they get old, it's like collapses in itself like a star. And some lady she actually came up to me and she was like, I'm gonna give you a picture when I'm 36. You better be my friend on Facebook because I'm gonna send it to you. I'm like, all right.
All right, so I wanted to ask one more thing because we should move on since you have to go DJ.
I should be DJ.
I mentioned that Ken is the official pedorthist, and if anyone has feet problems, I left a few of his cards on top of the piano with the cookies. But Ken, you looked at my feet.
I did.
And I wondered if you remembered anything about them.
You had plantar fasciitis.
No, but what was special about my feet?
You had every single one of your toes painted a different color of the rainbow.
Do you remember my arch size?
It was significantly longer than your foot size.
Yeah, it was.
Was it a 13?
It made me feel special.
Was it a 13?
No, my shoe size is 13.
Oh, so it was a 15.
16.
Oh,
all right. Anyways, please give another round of applause for Ken Jepsen. If you are an Asian baby, or were an Asian baby and were offended, he's obviously open to talk to you and willing to apologize.
I'll apologize.
So please, Ken Jepsen.